In this lesson, I'm going to cover Fibonacci projections. In Thinkorswim, projections are actually called extensions. To use a projection, you're going to draw from A to B to C, and then there'll be an extension or a projection to D. For projections, we usually use the 100, the 1272, and the 161.8. Projections are good because they allow you to find symmetry. Let's take a look at Facebook. If we draw a projection from A to B to C, we can see that the move from A to B is the same as from C to D, which is represented by the 100% level. Projections can be used either way. In this case, we have Agilent, and if we take from A to B, and then going down to C, we can see that we have the 127.2, which is pretty much where Agilent bottomed out on Black Monday, or right around where it closed on Black Monday. And if we take this one from A to B to C, the projection is right down in that same area for the 161.8. Here's a projection for American Airlines going into the future. So if we take A to B and then place it down here, we can see that this current uptrend maybe has a bit more steam, especially coming in and that we just had good earnings on American Airlines. At the moment, it could move up to the 47.83, and that would be a good level to sell some off at and close some positions. And then the 127.2 would be probably a better place to take your entire position off if it did get up to that point. Here's another example for Visa. If we take from A to B and then down to C, we're going to see that our projection has already gone through the 100% mark, and it's on its way to get up to the 1272 extension mark or projection mark. So now that it's already broken through the 100%, if you haven't taken your position off already and taken profits, it would be good to leave it on until it hit that 80 and 25 cents level. Here's another extension from PepsiCo. We take from A to B to C, we can see that PepsiCo came up. We had the big Black Monday crash, and it consolidated a bit, and then it made a big move up from 90 up to its high of 103.44. So if you were using the projections, you could come in and make a price target of 103.68. Your first price target, where there was a little bit of consolidation, would be 98.62, where you could take some profits off the table on this big up move. It pushed through the 127 quite fast, and then it topped out at the 161.8. So here would be a good time to take profits as the market came back around and probably will come back down into some retracement. Now for a downward trending stock, here's Schlumberger, and if we take from high to low on the major swings, back up to high, once this stock started to turn down again, you could ride it all the way down to the 100%. At the 100%, you can see that it closed right on that 100% level, right at 70. And this would be a good time to get out and take your profits if you were short selling this. Here's another example for Southern. If we go from low to high to low, we can see that this move has made quite a bit of an upturn, but even though it's come down for the past 2 days, it could still have a bit more gas in it, and it could push up a little bit higher into that 47 level. We could also take it from here, which is a little bit higher up, and go from low to high to low, and you can see that the 100% level is now right around that area where it topped out. So it didn't make this big move, but it made a little bit shorter move where it came up and topped back down, and this was the size of that 100% move. So now would be possibly a good time to short and wait for some sort of retracement down to the 61.8 to get back in if you're going long on this trade. So this is pretty cool. This is from AT&T, and we're going to take the high to low, and then back up to the high, And you can see that as it progressed, AT&T came down. The Black Monday crash, it almost came down to its 161.8. This would be a great time to come in and buy AT&T right at this point. Came back up, closed right around its 100% level, and then the next day it came back down and almost touched its 1272 extension. So there was a lot of volatility going on in this area, and you could see that if you're using this move as a guide, you'd have good entry and exit points, which would allow you to get into this trade. Going forward, if we take a look at the flash crash and go low to high to low, we can see that the 100% has already been broken. It wasn't able to find any support, and now it's come back down. So AT&T could push up a little bit higher to that 100% level, but it's doubtful because of it pushing through and then coming back down that it'll get up to the 127.2 extension anytime soon. Here's another one. Here's Time Warner, and if we go from high to low, back up to this swing high, you can see that the 100% came all the way down, touched it right on the dot, and then it's coming back up for some sort of retracement. So if you were writing this down with TWX, you would have a price target of 65.35 if you were long term. So this is a daily chart, and you'd be looking at a few weeks out as a short. So I hope these have been helpful for understanding how you can use projections and what you're looking for. Remember, you want to go from swing high to swing low, back up to swing high, and then the projection is going to be onto the swing low. Or you're going to go from the swing low to the swing high, down back to the swing low, and then it's going to project up to a new high. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how you can use all three of these, the extension, the retracement, and the projection, so that you can use what's called a Fibonacci cluster, which will give you a better prediction of where prices are going to go.